Just 6 times. That's how many times you need to go camping before you're wasting your money. This cooler costs about $500 brand new, and for another $200, you can get about 60 bags of ice. A cooler this size needs about 3 bags of ice every 3 days. That's 9 to 10 bags a week. That means after just 6 weeks of camping, your money is literally going down the drain. And that's assuming you can even get to a place that sells ice to begin with. What if you want to be out for a week straight and you don't want to drive back into town every 3 days to buy ice? What if for the same price of a cooler and 60 bags of ice, you never had to buy ice again? That's what I did because I wanted to go out longer and longer and didn't want to keep driving back into town to buy ice. So I specifically went looking for a car fridge that could hold the same amount of food as my favorite cooler. I ultimately decided on this, the Iceco APL 55, and featured it in a video a couple months ago. Iceco loved that video and asked if they could sponsor this video. But I want you to know I specifically went looking for and wanted this fridge because I'm sick of buying ice. I'm sick of wondering if the food on top is cold enough. I'm sick of water getting into everything, and I want to be out longer than ice will last. Okay, so I don't need ice, but I do need power. And where does all that power come from? Well, it depends on where you want to use your fridge. Iceco has this great little mini power bank with a magnetic back that will allow you to stick it to the back of your fridge. This is perfect if you're just taking your fridge out for the day and you want to bring it out away from the car for a bit. The great thing about this power station is it's portable and relatively lightweight. The not so great part about it is it won't last more than about 12 hours. Now, you can plug it into a solar panel like this and it will do a great job of keeping the battery charged even while the fridge is running. So if you want to charge the little battery pack all day while the sun was out and then run the battery all night, you could probably do that, but that's cutting it a little close for my taste. So let me show you what I do. I already had this 1,000 watt power station that I use for powering other things at camp. It's not as light and portable as a mini power station, but I tend to keep my fridge with the car anyways because when it's full of food and drinks, it's pretty heavy. What I do is I plug the fridge into the battery pack and then plug the battery into my car. Anytime I'm driving to a new location, the car charges the battery, and when I stop for the night, the battery keeps the fridge cold. I had this out for a week back in January and never saw my power station drop below 85% charge, but I was moving to a new location every day, so the power station had about 2 hours to charge each day, but was still running off of just battery power for the remaining 22 hours. And if you think about it, that's some really impressive energy efficiency. Now, I haven't pushed this fridge the limit just yet to see how long it can run off of just battery power, but from what I've experienced so far, I'm really impressed. Now that I have this mini battery bank, I just double up. I plug the fridge into it gets plugged into my power station, and the power station into the car, and each one keeps the next one charged. It gives me redundancy and makes sure my little power station is ready to go anytime I do want to venture away from the car. Now I know that these power stations are an additional expense, and you could buy a lot of ice for that money, but right now the APL 55 is just $187 more than a Yeti. More about that in a minute. And because of how thick these walls are, if you don't have a power station, you could use this just like a cooler. You could put ice in it and keep everything cold without a power station, and then when you're running the car, it's going to keep the ice from melting. That's a lot of versatility for just a little bit extra money. Now, the APL 55 is heavier than a cooler due to the needed compressor, but it's not as bad as I thought. The APL 55 weighs in at 55 pounds empty compared to a similar sized cooler that weighs only 30 pounds empty, which is one of the reasons I really like this drawer slide that keeps the fridge in the car but still gives you easy access. All that said, you're still gaining a lot for the extra weight. Like this is something that ice can't do, and that is keep things frozen. One of the reasons why I was interested in the APL 55 is because it's a dual zone fridge / freezer. Each zone can be independently controlled. This side can be a fridge and this a freezer, or you can switch them and this side be a fridge and this a freezer. Or you can take out this middle divider and you can make the whole thing a fridge, or pump the temperature down and make the whole thing a freezer. That's the other reason I chose the APL 55, because it's got so many great features for the price. You can connect the fridge to your phone via Bluetooth and not only monitor the temperature, but make adjustments. And I like that the lid opens long ways instead of from the side. This allows me to place a fridge long ways in the car, but still be able to open and access everything I need. And if you have kids around, you don't have to worry about mashed fingers thanks to the slow closing safety hinges. There are USB ports that let you charge your devices, a light inside so you can see the fridge even at night, and a light on the outside of the fridge too. And you don't have to use it just for camping. Right now, my family and I are on a road trip, and we brought along the APL 55 to help keep drinks and food cold while we are on the road. So I want to show you just how much food the APL 55 can hold. We've already started to eat some of this, but we had enough in here for 4 lunches, 3 breakfasts, and 2 dinners for 5 people. Now, I keep saying that the APL 55 is just $187 more than the Yeti, but that isn't usually the case. It's usually $859. But starting today, March the 22nd, 2024, ICECO is doing a site-wide sale with up to 30% off some of their products. And you can get 20% off the APL 55. That brings the price down to just $687. And if you have ever looked for a car fridge before, then you know that is an incredible deal. And we are giving one away to one of you watching this video. All you got to do is comment below and tell us exactly how you would use the fridge, and make sure that you're subscribed to ICECO's mailing list through the links in the description. Then on March the 27th, 2024, I'll randomly select one of the comments below this video and ask you to email me. But be careful, because there are a lot of scammers out there that like to impersonate me and respond to comments saying you've won something and asking you to contact me on WhatsApp and Snapchat and things like that. I will never ask you to contact me on WhatsApp or Snapchat. I don't even use those platforms. I will only ever ask you to email me at the email address info@mylifeoutdoors.com. Anything else is someone impersonating me and trying to scam you. Until then, check out the sale at icecofreezer.com. They have all kinds of things, including cool accessories for the APL 55, like this drawer slide, the wagon, this really cool protective cover that also adds insulation, battery banks, and more. Check it out at icecofreezer.com. If you're watching this after March 2024, you can still get a discount by using the code MyLifeOutdoors and get 13% off ICECO products, including the APL 55. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and do all those other things. And as always, thanks for watching. We had enough for 4 man, I was doing so good too.